Nobody wanted this idea, not one person. His own brother laughed at him. His wife asked if he was serious. A bank loan officer literally said no thank you twice. The idea was a laundromat, just one. In a rundown strip mall nobody drove past on purpose. Everyone told him the same thing. Laundromats are dying. Nobody does laundry outside their house anymore. He heard it constantly. He bought it anyway, for $18,000. Cash he'd saved for 3 straight years. His hands were shaking when he signed the papers. Today that same idea is worth $12 million. Not one laundromat, 19 of them, spread across 3 states, running every single day without him lifting a finger. That's not luck. It was never luck. It was one rejected idea, refused to die, over and over again. This isn't a story about a genius plan. It isn't about some secret formula either. It's about a man who got told no so many times he stopped counting and kept buying laundromats anyway. Somewhere right now, someone has an idea just like this one. Boring, unwanted, mocked by everyone who hears it. Most people quietly kill that idea within a week. He didn't. Stick with me, because by the end of this, you'll understand exactly how being laughed at became the foundation of a $12 million empire, and why almost nobody sees it coming until it's already built. Most people quit the moment someone laughs at their idea. That's just human nature. Rejection stings. It's supposed to sting. He felt it too every single time. He just never let the sting decide anything for him. Level 1. Let's go back to the beginning. He was 31, working a warehouse job, $12 an hour, overtime whenever they'd give it to him. He drove past an old laundromat every single day. Broken sign, cracked windows, half the machines out of order. Everyone assumed it was failing. He walked in one Tuesday out of pure curiosity. The owner was exhausted, ready to sell for almost nothing. $18,000 for the whole business. He asked his brother what he thought. His brother laughed out loud. Actually laughed. Told him laundromats were a dying business model completely. He asked his wife next. She wasn't laughing. She was scared. They had a baby on the way and barely any savings. He went to the bank anyway. The loan officer looked at the numbers and said no. Too risky. Too outdated. Try something else entirely. He didn't try something else. He used every dollar he'd saved. $18,000, gone in one signature. His hands actually shook signing that paperwork. He remembers that detail clearly. He remembers driving home afterward in complete silence, wondering if he'd just made the biggest mistake of his life. Level 2. Here's what nobody understood about that dying laundromat. People still needed clean clothes. Every single day. Whether it was trendy or not, the building was ugly. The machines were old, but the location had something nobody else noticed. 3 apartment complexes within walking distance. Renters without their own washer, hundreds of them. All needing somewhere to do laundry weekly. The laundromat wasn't dying, it was simply neglected. He fixed one machine at a time. Cheap repairs first, new signage second. A working air conditioner finally, after months of complaints. Within 6 months, revenue doubled. Within a year, it had paid for itself completely. The dying business wasn't dying anymore. He kept the warehouse job the entire first year, working mornings at the laundromat before his shift. Nobody at work knew a thing about it. Level 3. Word got around slowly, not through marketing. Through word of mouth in a small industry nobody paid attention to. Another struggling laundromat owner, 3 towns over, wanted out. He bought that one too, for even less than the first. $12,000 this time. He already knew what to fix and how fast. The second laundromat took half the time to turn around. The third took even less. By laundromat number 5, he had a system. Not luck, a repeatable process. Fix the machines, fix the signage, fix the little things nobody else bothered with. Every single time, it worked exactly the same way. Nobody was filming any of this for social media. Nobody wanted to watch someone install a new water heater in a laundromat. But every boring hour spent fixing one built the next one faster. He finally quit the warehouse job after laundromat number 4. That was the moment it stopped feeling like a side project entirely. Level 4. By this point, real money was coming in. Where did it go? Not into a nicer car, not into a bigger house either. Every single dollar went straight back into buying the next struggling laundromat. One at a time, city after city, state after state eventually. He learned to spot a good deal from a distance. Bad signage, broken machines, a tired owner ready to walk away for almost nothing. People assumed he had investors. He didn't. No pitch deck, no outside money at all. Just laundromat number 1 funding laundromat number 2, over and over again. By laundromat number 10, banks started calling him instead of the other way around. The same bank that said no once was now offering him better rates than he asked for. Funny how that works. Nobody wants to lend you money until you clearly don't need it anymore. That irony wasn't lost on him at all. Level 5. His brother stopped laughing somewhere around laundromat number 6. Started asking questions instead. Wanted to know how it actually worked. Old coworkers from the warehouse job assumed he was joking when he mentioned what he actually did now. Nobody believed a laundromat could be worth millions of dollars. There's a real cost to being underestimated for years. He got used to explaining himself at every single family gathering. Eventually he just stopped explaining at all. The bank statements did the talking instead. Numbers don't need anyone's permission to be believed. His wife stopped worrying somewhere around laundromat number 8. She still remembers the fear from those first uncertain months clearly though. That fear never fully disappeared, even after everything worked out. Level 6. Somewhere around laundromat number 12, everything shifted completely. He stopped personally fixing machines, hired a small maintenance crew instead, trained them exactly the way he'd learned it himself. Owners started calling him first now. Word had spread through the entire regional laundromat community. He wasn't chasing deals anymore. Deals were chasing him. 19 laundromats, 3 states. A business that used to demand every waking hour now ran almost entirely without him. The habit of worrying about each location simply disappeared one day. He remembers the exact week it happened too. Nothing dramatic, just a quiet realization that nothing had gone wrong in months. Level 7. $12 million, 19 laundromats. One idea that everyone told him to abandon completely. What does that actually buy a person in real life? Not a yacht. Not some flashy watch either. It bought him the ability to walk away from any single bad location without panic. It bought him a Tuesday afternoon with his kids instead of a warehouse shift. It bought him the freedom to say no to things that didn't matter anymore. None of this happened in one lucky year. One laundromat became 2, 2 became 5, 5 eventually became 19, spread quietly across 3 entire states. Not every deal worked out. 2 locations got sold at a loss early on. One got shut down completely after the building itself started falling apart beyond repair. That's the part nobody puts in the highlight reel. But it's exactly why the ones that worked mattered so much more in the end. The laundromats themselves were never really the point. They were proof that a rejected idea, refused to die, can quietly become worth more than anyone who mocked it ever imagined. His brother visits one of the laundromats sometimes now, doesn't laugh anymore. Just shakes his head and asks how he actually saw it coming. He didn't see it coming, honestly. He just refused to let one rejection be the final word on anything. If you've got an idea everyone's laughing at right now, that laughter might mean absolutely nothing about whether it actually works. This channel is POV Zenn. If this story changed how you look at your own rejected idea today, that's exactly why it got made in the first place. Subscribe if you want the next hidden wealth story broken down exactly like this one. Because somewhere right now, someone's laughing at an idea that's about to quietly become worth millions. And honestly, that's usually how these stories always start.